Kurt Bowen with Advanced Diver Magazine and RebreatherWorld.com. Today you're here with Chauncey Chapman from HOLLIS, and he's going to talk to us on, what's the name of this unit?
This is the eXplorer Sport Rebreather from HOLLIS. An electronically controlled mixed gas rebreather that modifies the PPO2 during the dive to extend the bottom time and avoid decompression. It runs on 40% nitrox and a pre-packed scrubber with a design duration of 2 hours. This is our BOV. It has 3 states. It starts in a fully closed state, and when you move it into the closed circuit, the activation lever drops into position and you're in closed circuit. Pull it down, you're in open circuit. Go back to closed circuit, but you cannot return to the shutoff position until you lift the lever and rotate the lifted lever back into the closed position. Both hoses swivel when the unit is fully made up. And we have an integral HUD. Green light means go have fun, play with the fish. When it flashes green-blue, it means look at your digital display. I have something to tell you. And when it says red, you go to open circuit and go to the surface. The gas flow enters the core of the system, which is this cylinder along the top back portion of the rig. This end encloses the scrubber. Pre-packed scrubber cartridges here with the thermal profiler, and then we have the electronics on the far side. What's interesting about this is that Kevin designed a valve that shuts off the breathing loop if the scrubber is not present. So if there's no scrubber in the rig, you can't breathe on the rig. And when the scrubber is present and the flow control valve is open, you can see a green stick that's been pushed up into this clear pocket. This is the eXplorer core unit, electronics on one end, scrubber access on the other end. It's an interrupted screw joint that gives you access to the scrubber. This is the scrubber end cap with the flow control valve. This is the valve that is activated by the scrubber being present and either allows or denies the diver the ability to breathe on the unit. You can see the green coming up in the clear bubble. We're going to pull the scrubber out. This will be a pre-pack loose media scrubber. We'll also be able to offer it as a self-fill scrubber. We didn't want to be piling up plastic with pre-packs on Grand Cayman. On this side of the eXplorer core, we have the electronics coming from the scrubber. We have the thermal temperature monitor for the scrubber. We have one CO2 sensor and 3 oxygen sensors, and then the electronics housing itself with the rechargeable battery. This is the electronics housing. It's accessed the same way that the scrubber module is accessed. This comes off, has the polymer batteries in it. This is the unit you take to your room, download, and recharge. The sensor module can then be pulled out. The sensor module has the thermal profiler for the scrubber, CO2 sensor from GSS in Scotland, and 3 oxygen sensors, which are simple plug and replace. This is the handset, the controller of the unit. When the unit is first turned on, it will go into turn on mode where it will guide you through setup. Look at your directional valves, close the loop, apply negative pressure, and then it takes over and it will apply positive pressure test, verify that the cylinder valve is open, take a look at the CO2 sensor, take a look at the O2 sensors, and basically get the rig ready to dive for you. And then it will ask you to pre-breathe the unit for 60 seconds just to make sure that scrubber's working. This is the HUD. The HUD has 3 states. When it's green, go play fish, have fun. When it flashes blue and green, take a look at the handset. There's a message for you. And if it flashes red, you shift the BOV into open circuit and ascend from the dive. This is counterlung view. The canister has ports for the counterlungs to attach. The split counterlungs, there are 2 of them. I have a compliant volume of 4.5 liters plus, which is a CE requirement. There is a drainage valve mounted on the inhale side, or the exhale side for the diver. And the counterlungs are relatively easily removed and cleaned. This is the gas distribution block. We have one hose going to the BC inflator, we have one hose going to the BOV, and we have a pair of hoses that go up to the head and drive the internals of the unit. There are also additional ports here for dry suit inflation or an octopus if it's needed. We use a 3.8 liter aluminum cylinder. The rig works really well at a 36 to 40% nitrox. We can use 32% nitrox or lower if it's available. This is the Prism core, counterlung mounts, and in here is what we call a valve cluster. It has 3 valves. It has a demand addition valve It has an overpressure valve and it has a hydrostatic balance valve